Welcome to the Dental Team Podcast. I'm your host, Kiera Dent, and I have this crazy idea that maybe I could combine a doctor and a team member's perspective because let's face it, dentistry can be a challenging profession with those two perspectives. I've been a dental assistant, treatment coordinator, scheduler, biller, office manager, regional manager, practice owner, and I have a team of traveling consultants where we have traveled to over 165 different offices coaching teams. Yep, we don't just understand you, we are you. Our mission is to positively impact the world of dental, and I believe that this podcast is the greatest way I can help elevate teams, grow VIP experiences, reduce stress, and create A-teams. Welcome to the Dental Team Podcast. Hello, Dental Team listeners. This is Kiera. And you guys, all right, this is another podcast topic to our faithful fanfare. They sent in an email. You guys, I love when you actually email us. Ask us the questions in your practice because I know you're not the only practice who's dealing with this. So if we can help one office, I know we're helping more. And you guys, you know that the Dental Team's mission is to positively impact the world of dental. So that's what we're here for. That's what we're trying to do. And we can only do that if we know what you guys really, really need and want. So thank you. Thanks for reaching out to us. So you guys, please email us or pop on over to our website, thedentalteam.com, where we have our podcast page, /blog. You can leave us topics or ideas that you'd like us to talk about. Also, while you're there, make sure you subscribe to our podcast. Share with your friends. You guys, give us a like, subscribe. That's what we'd appreciate you do. So stop right now, subscribe, send it to a team member, send it to one colleague, docs, that you know this podcast could help. That's going to help change their practice and their life as well. All right, you guys. So today's topic for that faithful fan who sent us an email, it is they have a virtual practice. So they have like remote dental offices, which I think is a very cool idea. And this office manager was asking, how do I help keep my team connected? They're going to start doing virtual morning huddles, and they're wondering, how do we keep it connected? So I will tell you guys, I just started a book. So if you guys want, here we go, Kiera's Book Club. You know, I'm constantly reading. You guys, during COVID, it was insanity. I was buying so many books. I think it was that feeling of progress and I was needing to feel like I was progressing, and instead I was just filling up my Audible account. I looked at my Amazon credit card when it came through and I was like, holy books, Kiera Dent. You know, because Audible charges you and you get so many books for free. And then after that, you have to keep paying for them. I don't know what I was doing. So I have a ton of books in my Audible library right now. And I'm also ridiculous because what I do is I'll listen to them for like an hour or two and then want to switch to a different topic. Whatever. I'm trying to finish this up. So the book that I wanted to let you guys know as far as this virtual is, I'm going to tell you a book I've been reading, and then I'm going to tell you some ideas of how to keep a virtual team connected. Okay. So a book I just started, I'm about halfway through it. It's been pretty good so far. It's called The Long Distance Leader by Kevin Elkenberry and Wayne Turnell. Okay. If I got those wrong, sorry, I am driving right now. But The Long Distance Leader. And with that, they talked a lot about how to keep a team connected. And you guys, a lot of times we are going to virtual. We're going to long distance. And it doesn't mean somebody's working in New York and somebody's working in California. It just means that maybe somebody's working from home. Somebody is doing remote billing. We have outsourced people. So how do you keep this virtual team engaged? Well, if you guys don't know, the Dental A-Team happens to be a virtual company. Until just recently, we didn't see each other at all. Kaylee and I, we giggled. You guys probably listened to that podcast already. Where Kaylee and I would meet at Starbucks. So ridiculous, so cheap over here. Whatever, it's fine. That's called being a startup, and you do what you got to do. But we didn't see each other. Our coaches, they live in different states. I don't see them. I don't see Tiffany Trader ever. It's very rare that I see her, and it's such a disappointment right now because I haven't seen her and I was supposed to see her. But these people are all virtual. We have a virtual team. So let's talk about you guys. If you have virtual team members, which most offices have somebody, even if it's an outsourced person, I claim that as a virtual team member. So how do you keep them connected? First and foremost, you've got to find a way to keep them focused on the goals as well. So in the office, we have our company goals. And I'm saying this is the first thing, and you guys might think like, oh, Kiera, nice. Bottom line is they're going to be working on their own projects. If they don't know the target of what we're all aiming for, and we don't keep that at the forefront of their mind, we're going to miss it. In an office, you guys have it written on your whiteboards. You have it posted. We know the wigs. We review it. Well, virtual people, they don't get all those constant reminders. So you need to make sure it's present. So the way we do it is on our weekly meetings, we have all of our goals present on there, and we're constantly referring back to them. On our daily meetings, we talk about them, of where we're headed, and we're tracking that progress. So you do it very similar. Also, something else I found with virtual teams is you've got to go above and beyond on recognition and appreciation. They're not there every day to be getting the kudos and the appreciation, unlike in an office. So you've got to work double time. What we have in ours is we actually use WhatsApp. That's my preferred communication method. I have multiple different chats with the people that are virtual. So we have all of our coaches chat. We have our admin team chat. There's lots of different chats. We have one for a book that we're building right now, and it's the 3 people who are working on that project. So all of our projects are listed in our chat, and that way it's very clear as to what conversations are happening and who we need to contact. It also stays out of our text messages. It doesn't get lost. You can respond directly to a question. It's much cleaner. We also use emails. Emails are kind of a pain in the derriere because there's so many of them that come. But guess what? If I was in an office, I'd be interrupted a ton, right? Because they'd be coming into my office. So you got to understand that this is just part of being a virtual company. So ramp up that communication. Give the kudos, give the love, give the positivity, because people don't feel that every day. So you've got to ramp that up. I appreciate Kaylee. She sends out Friday vibes. She sends out thank you emails. We send gifts to our team periodically. We are always sending love in our chat. Those are things we're complimenting people. Anytime there's a shout out, it goes in the group chat so everybody knows it happened. That way they feel included as well, even though we're virtual. I love the idea of virtual morning huddles. You might have an office manager who's in different locations at different times. What you can do virtually is you can actually have your morning huddle. You could do it on FaceTime, or you could just do a recording, send it to the whole team. They've got to respond back what their favorite part of morning huddle was. That way there's an accountability action on there. I've also found that you've got to have better reporting when people are working virtually. So we have a scorecard. Every Friday, all the team members go and report in on this digital scorecard. We use Google Drive. We actually have upgraded to the whole shebang. So we use G Suite, and we have on there a shared Google Doc. Everybody has their KPIs listed. Everybody puts them in on Friday. I get an email on Friday from Kaylee of all the KPIs, every single team member that we need to keep track of. So if you guys have like billers, you could have them fill in a KPI report, even if they're virtual. This is going to keep them accountable. Did they get all their insurance verification done? Did they get all their AR done? What did they start at the beginning of the week? What did they end with? These things help keep you accountable, keep them accountable. What are their issues? You guys can do this for virtual people, and you should, because it helps keep them focused and targeted on what you want them focusing on. So I would suggest you guys do that. That's something else I found with virtual teams. You got to ramp up the love. You've got to ramp up the accountability. A third thing with virtual teams, I'm guilty of this. And in the long distance leader book that I was reading, it talked about how sometimes I feel that people are distracted at work or when they're working from home. And I might be paying them to do their laundry. I might be paying them to be on Facebook, and it irritates me. Like, there you go. Watch out, team. You're all listening. It irritates me. And then this book helped change my mind, and it pointed out, guess what? There could be someone at your office clipping coupons, looking like they're busy, or scrolling Facebook, and you have no idea. And it's the same thing. At the end of the day, we're looking for outcomes and results. So if they're getting the results, they're getting the outcomes, does it really matter? And that's something that eats at me. And I thought, you know what? They're getting the outcomes. I honestly don't care how many hours they're putting in. I really don't. I would prefer them to be honest and put in honest time. But guess what? Sometimes I'm on the clock. I am more productive in 2 hours than I am in 8 hours. So helping them know the outcome you're looking for, and then kind of letting go of that vine of expecting certain things, making sure that they're a certain way, that can help you. And then motivate them, empower them. Something else I found is when we do virtual meetings, we always do them via some type of video chat. So that way we can see their faces. We can also see their expressions, because it's hard. So when I do a one-on-one check-in with my team member, usually we do our whole meeting via Zoom, and then I should get better and I should do my one-on-ones via FaceTime or Zoom. It helps me just see them where I'll be honest, sometimes I do a call with Tiffany or somebody else, and I'm not paying attention because I can just be on the phone. I can be walking around my house. I could be unloading the dishwasher, and I'm not fully invested or engaged in those calls, and vice versa. So when we have meetings or when we have check-ins, do it via Zoom, do it via Skype. This is going to help you. If you guys are talking to your billers and they're remote, maybe get on a FaceTime with them so you can actually see, you can share screen. It creates a lot more communication. That's something that's going to be huge and paramount for these virtual teams. Another thing I would suggest you guys do is use we are really pro Google Drive. Google Drive is our go-to. We have everything in there. We have shared drives between all of us. So that way we can see each other's folders. We can share forms back and forth amongst the company, and having a shared form that you work on. We have several of them going on at all times. That helps exponentially with virtual teams. So making sure you have something that's shared, a document, whatever you guys choose to use. Our preferred is G Suite. Like I said, every single consultant, every single admin has their own folder. We all have all of our offices in there. They also talked about in this long distance leader book how you should use technology of sorts. Our favorite and preferred is we use HubSpot, and we're also using Monday.com. You guys find the one that works best for you. You will need a communication process. So using some type of communication, whatever it is, to close the loop. So some people like Basecamp, some people like HubSpot, some people like Monday.com. Some people use Google Excel sheets. Whatever it is, it's some type of tracking process to be able to see all the projects that are happening and ensure that they're getting done. We found in our company, we're sending so many emails back and forth that you really just need to have a way to track all the projects. I think it's the same thing in an office. How do you track all the projects going on? Who's responsible for them? So even in a practice that's not virtual, you might want to use some of these tactics, because that's what we find is we're sending so much, we're micromanaging. Monday.com is really great because you can change the status of where the projects are. You can assign it to people. HubSpot is free. I know it sounds silly. It's a CRM, and it's usually for sales. However, it can track all your projects and you can assign it, and there's a task board in there. Basecamp does the same thing. Those are some of the top favorites. Other people like the boards Trello. I wasn't a huge fan of Trello, but that was just my own personal preference. It was not super mobile friendly in my opinion, and I didn't like having to try and figure it out. I'm really big on mobile friendly because everything I do is mobile. So that helps you guys. So let's do a quick recap on virtual teams. You gotta amp up that love because they can't feel it from you from so far away. So ramp up that love. Make sure you have a way to communicate. We prefer WhatsApp. That's our preferred message. Up next, you got to make sure you keep them focused on the goals. We do it every single week. We focus on the goals. We set targets for them. So that's how we do it. You guys can find your own way to do it. Morning huddle, have a video, send it out. WhatsApp is HIPAA compliant. From what I understand, double check it. And you guys can send it through that. People can write what their favorite thing is. This is a great way to communicate. Also, have their scorecard, their KPIs that they report every single Friday to you, and then you review it and chat about it. Also, make sure you do your meetings via FaceTime, something video conferencing, so you can see each other. You can get people more engaged, break people up into groups, have them work together on these projects. It really will help all of you be more consistent with one another. And then use some type of technology. Google Drive is fantastic. Share documents, HubSpot, Monday.com, Trello, Basecamp, whatever it is. Keep all the loops of the projects totally and completely wrapped together. So that way you guys can make sure everybody is on the exact same page with each other. These things help virtual teams. Then have a virtual party. We have virtual parties together. We do dance parties. We do, some teams do happy hour. Some teams will play. There's a game called Code Names, and you can do it virtual. There's house party. Lots of different ways to keep people engaged, but make sure you check in with them more often, and not just a text, but a call. Checking in with team members to keep them super engaged and involved, I think, is probably the hardest part of a virtual team. Last but not least, the last tip I want to leave you with is make sure there are set boundaries with virtual teams. When you're at home, I feel like time is just this fluid thing. Work doesn't start, work doesn't stop, work never ends because it doesn't have to. There is no end in sight. So make sure there are strong boundaries and your teams aren't overworking or underworking. That way you guys can track it. Can really help out. If you have questions, time journaling. Time journaling was something we just recently did to see what people are spending so much time on, to see how we could make our company more efficient. So to our faithful fan, thank you so much for reaching out. I hope this gave you guys some tips on how to have a virtual team and to be super effective. If you guys want a deeper dive on that, let me know. I'm happy to share with you. If you have specifics for your office or you have an outsourced person and you don't know what to do with them, here are some ideas. Let us know. Try them out. Let us know. Give us the feedback. hello@thedunleyteam.com. You know I love to hear from you guys, so reach out. I'd be happy to chat with you. Happy to give you specifics. Our coaching team is incredible, so if you want them to help you set up KPIs, leadership scoreboards, things like that, a couple quick coaching calls, a Zoom call, you name it. You guys can join Dental Team Silver. You can join Dental Team Gold. And if you don't know about that yet, Just wait. It's coming to you. All right, you guys, I seriously cannot wait. I cannot wait to hear your successes of having a virtual team. Give us some tips as well. We're in this boat with you, trying to learn how to swim in a virtual reality. All right, you guys, thanks so much for listening. I'll catch you next time on the Dental 18 Podcast.
And that wraps it up for another episode of the Dental 18 Podcast. Thank you so much for listening, and we'll talk to you next time.